It's the premise of every third science fiction thriller. A man wakes up to his normal life, but then realizes that his memory has been rewritten using some electrode caps. Well, that need not be the case. A new set of experiments led by the MIT neuroscientist Steve Ramirez shows that using some molecular neuroscience technology, this can happen without using electrode caps. In his experiments, he has captured the memories of mice and then altered them, and then shown that the mice work according to these memories, which are false and the implanted.
Neuroscientist and National Geographic emerging explorer Steve Ramirez has pioneered ways to manipulate memories and hoping that one day his work may lead to novel methods of treating several mental related problems like depression, Alzheimer's, anxiety, PTSD. Keeping the ethical stuff aside, we can imagine the implications. For instance, being able to activate memories like in Alzheimer's or other psychiatric disorders. It involves finding the brain cells that are specifically associated with particular memories and installing a light sensitive switch in them using optical fibers during brain surgery. This will allow us to inactivate or reactivate those brain cells. It's just like rewinding recordings. Although attempts are made to achieve this and certain therapies have been developed on the basis of this, such as RMT therapy, we can still explore out for more such possibilities.
Probably won't remember this. The forgetting curves theory explains why learning is so hard. Learning has an evolutionary purpose. The individual that adapts to their environment succeeds. That is why our brain retains the important information and surprising facts more easily. It is easier to remember the facts in Star Wars than the rules in grammar or mathematics. Once we have acquired a new skill, we have to convince ourselves that it matters, or in other words, we have to overcome the forgetting curves. The forgetting curves is a mathematical formula that describes the rate at which something is forgotten after it is initially learned. It originated in 19th century when a German psychologist, Hermann Ebbinghaus, he studied the various ways in which memory works. An important conclusion of his study was that reviewing and repeating information over and over again helps us to strengthen that memory, leading the downward slope of art to become more gradual.
Apart from research done by various scientists, here we present findings of our online survey done through medium of Google Forms.
We prepared a self-report memory questionnaire with an aim to raise awareness of our reliance on memory throughout our daily course and to understand that memory takes many forms.
The data from 90 responses from age groups between 15 to 28 years is hereby graphically represented.
The questions being the first question, how often do you forget the names of people after being introduced? Second, when you go out to run a few errands, how often do you forget to do at least one of them?
Third, how often are you unable to find something that you put down only minutes ago? Fourth, do you ever begin to tell someone a story only to learn that you have already told them? Fifth, how often do you forget that you have already done something and begin to do it again, like setting up alarm clock?
Imagining the future is another kind of memory. Humans' ability to predict the future is all thanks to their ability to remember the past. Imagining future is a kind of nostalgia because humans predict the future on the basis of their past experiences or the memories. For example, another day at college or school will relate you to the days that have gone by. We can't really imagine or think that far into the future, nor we can remember that far back if we don't have a life script as a kind of a skeleton for our life story, says Enid Bond, a professor of psychology at Aarhus University, Denmark. In her studies done with the adolescents, she says that the conception of this life script builds in parallel with the ability to recall the past and imagine the future. That and the end of the course says that the older people's ability to imagine the future declines with tandem in their memory.
The era of memory engineering is upon us, and naturally, there are big implications for basic science and perhaps someday human health and even society. From now, these all may seem hypothetical, but these experiments have certainly given us a pause. There is still a very long way off, but we have gotten a glimpse of how we might eventually modify the brain to modify more complex narrative-like memories. It probably won't be with electrode caps. Many mysteries of memories are yet to be explored. How precisely are memories encoded within groups of neurons? How widely are brain cells distributed to encode a given memory? How does our brain activity correspond to how we experience memories? These active areas of research may one day provide new insight into brain function and how to treat memory-related conditions.